Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. More new JoyToy, but this is from their level 9 studio, and this is they do the 1/12 scale. These are 1/12 scale frontline chaos. We have the Vermouth Gangster and the Bourbon Gangster. Today is Friday, the 6th of October, 2023. I am looking forward to these. Now, I do like the frontline chaos, but they've been quite hit and miss for me in terms of joint not being tight enough on the ankles and other little bits and bobs, and the soft goods being amazing looking but then quite easy to break, etc., which is kind of understandable at this scale. Now, what's interesting about these boxes, she's actually got colour, red lipstick and the yellow on the eyes, and he doesn't, I can see on the box. Nothing else really to see apart from the back. It shows you the gangsters, the figures. He looks pretty cool. He's got his sword and a silenced pistol. She's got like 2 daggers and an assault rifle stroke machine gun maybe. Both come with 2 spare hands, a gloved and ungloved. His looks like he's got a cigarette in it or maybe or something, I'm not quite sure. We'll see when we open up. Nothing else to see on the other side. Okay, let's open these up and set them up. Support my channel on Patreon. You can see all the uploads before they're put onto YouTube. Free for 7 days, so it is worth checking out. Cancel anytime in those 7 days. You'll not be charged a penny. Okay, I'm going to pause to set them up. I'll be back in an instant. Stay tuned. They look fantastic, but unfortunately my fear has been confirmed. The ankle joints are too weak, particularly on the girl, on the Vermouth Gangster, because she's got high heels. So having high heels and weak ankle joints is a recipe for disaster in the real world as well as it is in the action figure or posable dolls, as I would call these. Well, these are more dolls as opposed to action figures. Okay, so I've got all her accessories there except her hands. I've got his accessories there except his hands and his gun. So she does come with a cigarette hand too. It is a right hand with a little cigarette and very nicely painted on the cigarette. The hand feels like it needs some inking or something. And then she has another left hand which is a gripping hand as opposed to a trigger hand. On his right hand, his smoking hand is holding the cigarette the other way, which is pretty cool, very gangsterish. And he's got another left hand which is a gripping hand. Then here we have his silence gun. I wonder if the silencer, I'm sure the silencer doesn't come off. We do have an indented barrel, thank you. It's quite nice, just feels a bit plain on that. Okay, let's look at the figures and the other accessories. So we'll start with the Vermouth Gangster. So she in her hand here, this is really cool. This is both of her daggers. So they hide away into like a, I don't know, a baton or something, double scabbard, and they both come out. Very, very cool. Then she has her gun here, which is quite nice again. Let's get a focus going on. Can we focus? There we go. Pretty nice. Again, we've got indented stroke drilled barrel, which gives it a very nice look, and she can hold it particularly well. You can see there, great detailing on the face, soft goods. Elasticated on the boob tube. The pants are elasticated too. Jacket you can take off, remove all the clothing. I don't believe she's wearing underwear. Oh, she is. She's got. No, she's not. That's just the sculpting. Nice looking figure, but high heels. They should have given her some sort of different shoes to accommodate her weight, because the ankle joints are way too weak, particularly with high heels, to support her weight. But she is a fantastic looking figure. Right up there, some of the best faces they've done at level 9. Very, very cool indeed. Then let's look at the Bourbon Gangster. He supports his weight slightly better because he's got the flat shoes. He's got more of an anime look. Those eyes are a bit too big for my liking. More anime. A lot of the others haven't got such an anime look, or the guys anyway, that he has. So he's got a nice holster and a nice sword. He's got a little belt there. Belt buckle looks nice. Again, it's soft goods. You can take off the jacket, the pants. He doesn't have any socks on. It's just no feet, straight into shoes. So if you do make him naked, he's going to have just his shiny shoes on. The ankle joints again are loose, but with having a big base or bigger base, it's far easier for him to support his weight. Okay, let's have a look at articulation. Then I'll set up do their size and set up do a comparison, set up a scene afterwards. Let's get her gun out of hand. Articulation is going to be almost the same. Except her head articulation won't be quite as good because of the hair coming down here. So she can look a little bit left, a little bit right, up and down, sort of not really side to side because of the hair. Shoulders would go all the way around, but the jacket will get in the way, which is a shame. Lateral raise, she gets to about 90. Bicep bend, she can scratch her head, so well over 90 on the bicep bend, which is cool. Wrist is a joint, so you've got to find where the joint is, line it up to move it. It's a bit too loose for my liking. There is trunk hidden underneath the boob tube, so she gets a really good backwards, good forwards, and a fantastic combiner for waist side to side, which is a real pity about her feet, the ankles now, because this articulation is going to be wasted if she can't support herself. Maybe kneeling down poses. Legs, so far the trousers and the sculpting start to impede on the hips. Forwards, not so great. Backwards, again not great. There should be a thigh turn. It's a thigh turn. She's got a double kneecap, skinny legs, and very, very tight. Then the foot is on the joint, so you get a boot turn here, which is nice. You get like a ridiculous tippy toe, ankle breaking tippy toe. You get a very good dorsiflexation again, which is awesome. And you should get a small, there you go, inwards and outwards swivel on the feet. But again, her ankles don't support her weight very, very well. Let's try and get the stand up before I go onto him. I've got to stand her up from the ankles to make sure she balances. Okay. So the Bourbon Gangster, look at his articulation. Again, the head, small eyes, not so anime. Left, right, up, down, side to side. Very good. Again, the arms would go all the way around, but the clothes, remember, he's got a shirt and a jacket getting in the way. Lateral raise, he's not getting as high as she was, so he's not quite flat. Bicep, he's getting over 90 degrees again, which is great. Hand is the same. Find the joint, and you can articulate along that joint line. He's going to have trunk and waist, but they're going to be impeded because of his clothes. He can move quite well, and with the waist he turns well. Forwards is pretty good. Backwards is phenomenal. Baron has, look at that, he's doing like a Matrix and Neo, dodging bullets. Side to side again is really quite nice. Hips further than her, which is nice. Hopefully nothing's popping at a joint. Forwards slightly better than her, I would say, on that. Backwards, not great. There should be a thigh turn. Yep. He's got a double kneecap, so nice and tight. And the feet, again, he has a nice boot turn. He should have a nice small swivel side to side. He has a tippy toe, and he has a dorsiflexation. Okay, let me stand him up. We'll do size, comparison, then we'll do an action pose to sign out. They look amazing, but it's just these hip joints, or hip joints, sorry, these ankle joints in the last few have really sort of annoyed me. I like my figures to stand up nicely by themselves. Okay, so size, she could be a touch bigger, maybe because his head is not quite straight, but she's possibly a touch bigger. She's around 16.5 and he is around 16.5 cm. So the 112, my go-to 1212 for comparison at the moment is the Legend of Sanchita Death Dealer, because he's on my desk. If I move him to the side slightly, don't fall over. And putting the Death Dealer in the middle, you see how they can scale to Marvel Legends. And they scale well. Heads seem a bit small compared to Marvel Legends, but they do scale well. Not bad. Okay, let me set up a quick scene to pose them, and I'll come back and we'll close out from there. So stay tuned, back in an instant. And there's a nice action scene to finish. The guy, not just because of his flat shoes and being easy to stand, but he does pose better than her, I think. Maybe it's the gun or the way he holds the cigarettes. Now, interesting thing I just found out with her cigarette, it can be taken out of her fingers. So don't lose that. I haven't tried it with his because I'm scared I want me to put it back in. But yeah, he looks great, you know. Okay, you've stabbed him and you're going to smoke your cigarette. Now I'm just going to make sure the job's done by popping around in his head. They look fantastic. Actually, they look a lot better when posed like this than they did by themselves when they're sort of standing up. However, those ankle joints are going to wind you up. You'll display them, you'll come down, there's been a couple of vibrations and she will have fallen over, which can be real sort of a wind up for you, unless you've got some action stands that actually hold their waist in place or something like this. Nice looking figures, it has to be said, but the same issues with the ankles are sort of driving me a bit crazy. There's one more thing to show. They both came with these, I don't say they're decals because some are way too big. Decals for themselves to customize, but you know, that's a bit big there. And you wouldn't put level 9 on your figure. Maybe that's for yourself. And the eyes, you wouldn't put the eyes on the figure. Like, kind of freaky. So whether that's for you or the figure, I don't know. But the same sheet came with both of these figures. Okay, let's come across a little bit, I think, to about there. This is Awesome Ash Toy signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe. Check out the Patreon, link in the description below, along with discount codes and links. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.